a full body warm-up, perfect to do at the beginning of a class, allows participants to get used to moving their bodies and connect with their physical selves, each and every different part, build up a sense of confidence with moving and coordination as well while we do this. It allows participants some time to be with themselves and their own bodies, and later on in the warm-up it develops to them reaching towards other group members and making eye contact in different spaces around the room. This is a good opportunity for the facilitator to be able to get a sense of where the group is at, what range of movement the participants are working with, and any injuries to be particularly aware of. And a warm-up is particularly important for injury prevention, so it's very important to do at the beginning. So we're going to start this warm-up planting our feet flat on the floor and just bringing attention to our spines right from the base through the whole spine, out of the crown of the head, lengthening it so it's nice and long. We're going to start by generating a little bit of heat by rubbing our hands together. We rub our hands together and we take that movement and that heat to wake up the sensation on the skin, moving those circles around our forearm, top side, inside, bringing some heat and waking up the skin, the flesh, the muscles around our bones. Taking some nice big circles around the elbow joint, and we continue that motion, big circles, bringing some heat to the upper arm, triceps, biceps, and round, nice big circles round that shoulder joint. When we get to the top of the shoulder, we can give that a little massage, a little squeeze. And we can continue that motion back down the arm. Moving on to the other arm, taking some circles, back of the hand, back of the forearm, inside of the forearm, just as we did on the other arm. And this warm-up can be done over several pieces of music, and you can take it quite slowly, slower than I'm doing right now, starting maybe with some gentler, softer music and building to finish with some more rhythmic or upbeat music. So we're just taking a squeeze on top of that second shoulder. Then we're going to bring these big circular motions onto the lower back. So really warming up, bringing some heat and some sensation to the lower back. Middle back, however far up you can reach without straining. And we can take a little knocking action to gently tap to wake up the skin, the flesh, the muscles on our backs. And reaching from the other side, and also making sure we give the whole back a really good rub, really generating some heat. And we can take our little tapping fingers and we can take that tapping onto the face. Got so many little muscles in the face, and in Bharatanatyam we use our faces a lot. So waking up the sensation, a little bit of gentle massaging around the face, temples, forehead, eyebrows, down into the jaw. From here, we're going to bring it onto the chest and continue our rubbing motion, the palms of our hands, and maybe some little taps across the shoulders and chest as well. Before bringing down, thinking about the sides of our bodies, front of our bodies, bringing a little bit of heat to all of those places before moving down into the legs. Taking some nice big circles on the thighs, trying to wake up all of those 4 quadricep muscles. Before coming over the knee, such an important joint that works so hard for us. We take some nice big circles, really generating a bit of heat, bringing a bit of heat to that knee joint. And down the leg, however far participants can reach. Some might be able to reach all the way down, some might be able to just stay around the knee. Those who can reach into the calf muscle and shin and top of the foot. We finish off taking that on the other leg as well. So if we make these movements quite vigorous, really thinking of generating that heat, that's already getting us a little bit warm and getting our bodies just moving in quite a simple way. So now we've kind of got the skin, the flesh, the muscles awakened a little bit. We're going to think about our joints, starting with our fingers. We're going to give them a little wriggle. Just noticing what movement you have in all those little finger joints. Noticing any stiffness. Just working with where your body is at. And bringing the hands into a fist. Closing the fingers, open them out nice and wide. Bringing them in, opening them out. Bringing them in 1 finger at a time and opening them out 1 finger at a time. We can bring some movement into the wrist joint, 1 at a time or both together. Some nice big circles working into that wrist joint. Can change direction of the circles as well. Bringing in again a little bit of coordination. And thinking about our elbow joint. So bringing our hands onto our shoulders and reaching them out, if you're in a circle, across to the person on the other side of the circle. Bringing them into our shoulders and opening them out. Extending and flexing. Extending and flexing. You can reach them out to the side as well, extending and flexing. Extending. Noticing who's on either side of you in the circle. Working into our shoulder joints, taking some nice big circles. 1 at a time. And both together. So again, you can really take your time to get into all these big joints. Bring the shoulders up. And perhaps with an out breath, let them sink down. So continuing that movement of the shoulder joint, we're reaching a hand into the middle of the circle, up to the top, and all the way to the back of the room. Some participants may only be able to reach halfway, and they might make just a small circle, or just keep it in the shoulder joint. For those with a wider range of movement, you can also start using the head and the neck to follow the arm as it reaches round. Again, being gentle and ensuring not to strain the head or the neck. And we can take that on the other side a few times, working at the pace of the group. Not forgetting our necks, and just take some gentle stretches from side to side, ear to shoulder, to bring a bit of movement into the neck and chin to chest, and looking up to the ceiling. Reaching our hands up to the sides and all the way to the top. We can cross them over and give ourselves a little hug. This is just bringing a bit of movement into the back Once you've done that a few times, moving on to the lower body. Just like we did with the fingers, we're going to start with a little wriggle of the toes. Finding the movement in those toe joints. We then move on to our ankles, so lifting the foot up slightly. We can just take some circles with one foot in one direction and the other, and repeating on the other side. We can also reach the toes up to the ceiling and try and point the toes to the person on the other side of the circle. Reaching up and pointing forward. And then we can just work a little bit more into the knee joint and hip joint. We're just going to lift the leg and place it down. Lift the leg and place it down. So we're stretching the leg and bending it again to place down. Before we can bring that into a little march on the spot. And that's a good place for your warm-up to move into some standing exercises.